Hello everybody, welcome, happy Monday. Hope that you all had a fantastic Easter. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get started here with a live stream for Anatomy and Physiology. How's everyone doing today? Welcome in. Hello everybody. Hello. We'll get started here in just a moment. Hello everybody. We're going to do some Anatomy and Physiology for HESI and TEAS today. Can everyone see my screen all right? I'll slide this up some. Hello everybody, welcome in. How's everyone doing? I hope you all had a fantastic Easter. Hello everybody. Happy Monday. Hello. How's everybody doing? Welcome in. We'll go ahead and get started here in just a moment. I would appreciate it if you guys gave the live a like. It'll get it out to more people, but happy Monday. We're going to do some Anatomy and Physiology preparation for the HESI and TEAS, Anatomy and Physiology 1. We'll cover today. Thanks for liking the live, everyone. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, we'll go ahead and get started now. Number 1, which directional term means toward the head or upper part of the body? We're on number 1 now, everybody. Number 1. Hello, welcome in everybody. Welcome in. Excuse me, just had to clear my throat. Awesome, welcome in everybody. Welcome, my name is Ollie. I do go live every day. I did just post my live schedule for the week on my TikTok here. I'll give you guys a couple seconds. Awesome. So, for number 1, which directional term means toward the head or upper part of the body? The answer is C. It is superior. So superior refers to being closer to the head or upper part of the body. Inferior would be opposite. It would be more so away or toward the lower part of the body. Distal would refer to a position that is farther away from a point of attachment to the body or trunk. Like the hand would be distal to the shoulder. Posterior means refers to like the back of the body. Let's move on to number 2. Again, we're talking about directional terms, things like that, anatomical terminology. So question 2, the heart is blank to the spine. The heart is blank to the spine. And thank you for, this is my study. Awesome, Amy. Yes, no, this was a great review. We're doing some Anatomy and Physiology review for HESI and TEAS. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day. I'm actually going to start posting my live schedule. I have a post on my TikTok as to what time, pretty much 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day this week. We'll be going live. I have all the topics listed. I do post these to YouTube afterwards as well. My YouTube is linked in my bio. Number 2, the heart is anterior to the spine. So anterior means toward or in the front. So the heart is in the front of the spine. B, posterior, that means toward the back. So the spine would be posterior to the heart. Superior again, meaning toward the top. Inferior meaning below. Let's move on to number 3. Which term refers to a position that is closer to the midline of the body? What is closer to the midline of the body? Thank you for the goats. Thank you for the heart, Jordan. Thank you, Bolo, for the heart. Or goat. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for joining, everybody. Welcome in. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day. I have my Anatomy and Physiology and other topics. So we do pharmacology on Fridays. I have my live schedule posted to my TikTok now. It was my first TikTok post of the day. If you look, it's not the most recent one. It's the one before that. I have every topic that we're going to go over those days and the times as well. But this week it's all 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for the rose. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I appreciate you guys. If you're new here, welcome in. My name is Ollie. We're on number 3 now if you're just joining us, which asks, which term refers to a position that is closer toward the midline of the body? Yes, we do chemistry as well. On that video with the schedule, if you put in, if you comment what you want to see, that's what I kind of count towards as the poll. But anyway, the answer to number 3 is C. It is medial. Medial, I think of medial as mid, so toward the midline. Lateral is the opposite of it. The way it points more so outward, so it's away from the midline. The way that I think of an L is kind of like your feet. Like if your feet kind of point out. That's how I always thought of it. Like leg. Think of leg. A leg has an L in it. It points out away from the line. Kind of silly little way to remember that. Number 4, the fingers are blank to the shoulder. Pretty much every day I have my live schedule posted on my TikTok right now. It's one of my TikTok posts for the day. Not the most recent one, but the second most recent one. I have all the days that I'm going live, all the times against 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but specifically more so all the topics. And if you comment on that video what you want to see, I will count that as like the poll as to like what topics I'll start doing lives on. You're the best. No, you guys are the best. You guys are awesome. You guys make this so much fun. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for the likes and follows and participation. But number 4, it is distal. The fingers are distal to the shoulder. Remember, distal means further away from the point of attachment. So the fingers are farther away from the shoulder compared to the shoulder's attachment to the body. Proximal would mean closer to the point of attachment. For example, if you were to switch this question around, the shoulder would be proximal to the fingers. Superior, again, meaning above or toward the head. Middle, medial mean toward the midline. Number 5, which term refers to a position closer to the surface of the body? Closer to the surface of the body. So think of, well, I guess I won't say. I almost gave the answer away. So the test will be on YouTube afterwards. The test will be on YouTube. It's linked in my bio. I pretty much post all my replays to YouTube. I actually just posted a video last week on how I take notes, kind of the principles around note taking. It's essentially how I made my notes. Definitely go check that video out. I spent a lot of time working on that. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. We do go live every day. I have my live schedule posted to TikTok as well. Not maybe having my tease test and whatever. Good luck on your tease test. You got this. Don't worry about it. You got it. But number 5, which term refers to a position that is closer to the surface of the body? The answer is C. It is superficial. Superficial means closer to the surface of the body. Deep refers to being further away from the surface. So the muscles are deep to the skin, and the skin is superficial to the muscles. The way that I always think of superficial is if you ever gossip about someone is always like, oh, the person's very superficial. They're kind of only what you see is what you get type of person. Kind of a not the best way to think about it, but that's how I always remembered it. Number 6. Which abdominal quadrant contains the liver and gallbladder? Which abdominal quadrant contains the liver and gallbladder? Someone. This is very helpful. Thank you. Awesome. I'm so glad. That's awesome. This is more so practice for the HESI and T's. We're on number 6 right now. Which abdominal quadrant contains the liver and the gallbladder? The answer is C. It is the right upper quadrant. So the right upper quadrant is where the liver and gallbladder are located. The left lower quadrant is more so for part of the colon, part of the left ovary. And then if you're thinking about the right lower quadrant, that's part of the small intestine and large intestine. The left upper quadrant, that would contain parts of the stomach, the spleen, part of the kidney. Alrighty, moving on to number 7. Question number 7 asks, which organelle is responsible for producing ATP, the energy currency of the cell? And hello, everybody that just joined. Welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day. covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys request. We do pharmacology on Fridays. I did post my live schedule, the topic schedule at least, on my TikTok. If you go check that out on my page. I appreciate all the follows, everybody. I will be posting these replays to YouTube afterwards, and my notes are on my website. Both of those are linked in my bio. And I actually just uploaded a video last week on how I take notes. Pretty much the method that I did to make note-taking a little more active rather than passive. A lot of people hate notes. I love notes. But again, there is a right way to, I think there's a bad way to do it and a very good way to do it. And that's what I highlight in that video. Number 7. The answer is C. It is the mitochondria. Remember, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. ATP is our energy, and this gets produced via cellular respiration. The ribosome is more so for a protein synthesis. Lysosome is going to break down materials and cellular debris. The Golgi apparatus is kind of like a post office. It modifies, sorts, and packages. Love these. Awesome. Love you guys as well. You guys are awesome. I love doing these with you guys. They're so much fun. We're going to do question 8 now. What is the primary component of the plasma membrane that helps controls what enters and leaves the cell? So we have our plasma membrane, but what is it mainly composed of that kind of gives us the ability to control what enters and leaves the cell? Okay, thank you for all you do. Learned a lot from your lives and got advanced T score. Awesome, I'm so glad. Congratulations, Kimberly. Awesome. Awesome. So the copy of this exam, I don't have. It'll be the replay will be on YouTube afterwards. I do have practice exams on my website. I don't have this exact one on there. This is for HESI and T's review. The answer is B. It is phospholipids. Think of the phospholipid bilayer. So phospholipids are the primary structural component. Basically, they help control the passage of substances across the membrane. DNA is genetic material. Ribosomes are more so involved in protein synthesis. Glucose is a molecule for energy. Number 9. What is the main function of the nucleus in a eukaryotic cell? Number 9, what is the main function of the nucleus in a eukaryotic cell? Yep, phospholipid bilayer, fluid mosaic model. Yes, that's exactly right. All right, the answer to number 9 is B, DNA storage and gene expression. So nucleus is what's gonna hold our DNA. It's going to have basically the site of our gene expression, which is transcription in eukaryotic cells. Again, protein synthesis, ribosomes, energy production, mitochondria, waste digestion, lysosomes, like we talked about earlier. Number 10, which of the following describes osmosis? Which of the following describes osmosis? Oh my goodness, I bumped my stand. I'm so sorry. So sorry about that. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. We are on number 10 now, if you are just joining us or joining back. The answer to number 10 is B. It is movement of water across a semi-permeable membrane. So osmosis refers to the movement of water from an area of low concentration to an area of high solute concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. So again, we have so when we look at osmosis, we have our water and our solutes. So our water goes from low to high. Our solute goes from high to low. Remember, osmosis, movement of water from an area of low solute concentration to an area of high solute concentration through a semi-permeable membrane, and the solutes move from high to low. Number 11, during which phase of mitosis do chromosomes align at the center of the cell? This is practice for the HESI and T's. Hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a good Easter if you celebrate. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Number 11. During which phase of mitosis do chromosomes align at the center of the cell? It is metaphase. The way I always think of this is M. M is middle. Prophase is the first phase of mitosis. I always think of pro like it's kind of like proactive, so it's first. Anaphase is where sister chromatids are pulled apart toward opposite poles of the cell. Telophase is like this is the final stage. Basically, in telophase, that's where two nuclei form around the separated chromosomes. Alrighty, moving on to number 12. What does cell differentiation refer to? What does cell differentiation refer to? Thanks for all the follows, everybody. Thanks for all the likes on the live. I appreciate you guys. The more that you guys do like the live, it'll get it out to more people. And that way we can help as many people as possible on their upcoming HESI and TEAS exam. And this is also just fantastic review for anatomy and physiology in general. So if you are needing a review on it, this is great for you. We'll go over AMP1 today. Tomorrow will be AMP2. Thank you for the finger hearts, Nanya. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the gifts, everybody. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. You guys are so much, just so supportive. I love it. Alrighty. Which 12? Oh. We also got a 50%. Awesome. I take my HESI Thursday, and I feel like I know nothing. No, you definitely got this. You know more than you think you know. The answer here is C, a cell changing into a specialized type. So cell differentiation refers to that process where a less specialized cell becomes a more specialized cell, which means it develops a function. It would develop a function or a certain structure. Remember, because structure equals function, or just any specific role in the body. Question 13. The sagittal plane divides the body into which of the following? The sagittal plane divides the body into which of the following? Yep, we'll be going live pretty much every day. Again, my live schedule is posted on YouTube here. Also hoping for the ART radio. Okay, awesome, I'm glad. Yes. For the radiologic technology exam. Yep, we can do more of those questions. Yes, absolutely. Good afternoon, Mountain. How are you doing? Yes, it was very good. It was very restful as well. Very chill. I hope yours was as well. If there are anything that you guys want to see more of, definitely go to that TikTok video and comment what you want to see. Or send me an email. But definitely, I'm going to be looking at that. Whenever I make my schedule for the topics for next week's live, I will be looking at that comment section. So definitely go post them there as well. But number 13, the sagittal plane divides the body into which of the following? The answer is B. It is left and right halves. The way I always remember this, if you are riding a horse, you got your horse here. A saddle kind of sounds like sagittal. When you sit on the saddle on the horse, you're kind of like, you have your right leg and you're kind of dividing your body into left and right halves. So it's a silly way that I always remember that as well. Number 14, which plane divides the body into superior and inferior parts? So upper and lower parts. We're number 14 now. Awesome. The answer is C. It is the transverse plane. The transverse plane is also known as the horizontal plane, and it divides. If we have this as our transverse plane, it's our upper and our lower. So superior versus inferior. Frontal and coronal are the same thing, but frontal and coronal, I always think front and back, obviously frontal. But the coronal, if they use that instead of frontal, the way I think about it is kind of sounds like crown. If you crown somebody, you are facing them when you put the crown on them, so you're facing their front. A little medical imaging question. In medical imaging, which plane is commonly used for MRI or CT scans to show cross-sectional views of the body? Number 15. Think of what is a cross-sectional view? You definitely can answer this question if you know what a cross-sectional view is. Don't second guess yourself on it. But the answer is B again, or transverse again. Transverse is used in like MRI and CT scans. Basically, again, we're talking about horizontal. So we're just, think of a cross-sectional view. You are basically taking, if you have, let's just say, I'm not very good at drawing today, but if you have your arm and you were to cut it in half and you were to look at it this way, this would be the cross-sectional view. So that's how you know it is a transverse plane. Number 16. Which of the following are the 4 basic types of tissue in the human body? The way I always think of transverse randomly, it's kind of a random one, but this is how I always remember. If you think of it's horizontal and you have your inferior and superior, the way I think about it is like kind of like the metaverse, where if you're standing here, think of like the upside down. It's kind of like a different world. If you were to like, I thought of transverse, metaverse. You flip to go inferior, and it's like the other verse in a way. That's the way I always thought of it. I thought it was a little weird, but that's what stuck with me. So, but number 16, the answer is A. It is our epithelial, our connective, our muscular, and our nervous tissues. Those are the 4 basic types of tissues that you'll learn about and need to know. And then they have their different subtypes as well. Number 17. Which of the following is a characteristic of epithelial tissue? Which of the following is a characteristic of epithelial tissue? And if you are just joining, welcome in. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day, covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys do request. I do pharmacology on Fridays. I do post the replay of the live stream to YouTube afterwards, and then I have my notes in my bio as well from anatomy and physiology. Those are all linked in my bio. I did just post a YouTube video on how I do take notes. And then I did have a TikTok post about in terms of like what topics I'm going over each day and what time. And then in the comment section is where I will check for a type of poll of what topics that you guys want to see in the following week's live streams. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. Number 17. Which of the following is a characteristic of epithelial tissue? The answer is C. It forms the lining of body cavities and organs. So epithelial tissue forms body cavities, organs, helps form glands. Number 18. Which of the following is an example of connective tissue? Which of the following? Yes, there is a respiratory system. It is chapter... Air Force, girl, if you send me a email or a DM, I can send you the link if you're having trouble. But it is chapter... Let me check what chapter it is. For the respiratory system, it will be chapter 23. This should be pretty much in order from there, but it is chapter 23 there. And then number 18, the answer is blood. Blood is connective tissue. My link is, it's Medzeg, but it's also linked in my bio. Which of the following is an example of connective tissue? It's blood. So blood is a connective tissue because it connects and supports the body via the circulatory system. Number 19. Which type of muscle tissue is involuntary and found in the heart? What type of muscle tissue is involuntary and found in the heart? I'm new here, by the way. Well, welcome in, Air Force Guy. I appreciate you joining. I always love seeing new faces around here. I appreciate you guys being here and participating and everything. You guys are awesome. But if you are new here, welcome. I do go live every day. I did post my live schedule on TikTok. It's in one of my posts that you can find it. Number 19, the answer is B. It is cardiac muscle. Again, cardiac muscle is involuntary and it's found in the heart. Smooth muscle is also involuntary, but it's more found in ducts. Skeletal muscle is voluntary and it's kind of what surrounds your bones for movement. Striated muscle is a general term that can apply to both skeletal and cardiac. Basically means banded, which is more so for like rhythmic contractions. Number 20, what is the primary function of nervous tissue? What is the primary function of nervous tissue? Any recommendations for how to study physiology? Or lab exams, which was way hard. I didn't think it was too bad. Definitely difficult, but in my opinion, when it comes to physiology is how something works. If you were to talk about how something works, you would explain it. I always recommend practicing explaining topics out loud when it comes to physiology. I do have a couple videos on my profile on how to study for it. I definitely would take a look at those, and as well on YouTube as well. Number 20 is B. It is to transmit electrical impulses throughout the body. Nervous tissue is going to transmit those electrical signals. Basically, it's what's going to allow our body to communicate via different parts in the brain. But structural support would be more so for connective tissue. Secreting hormones would be for the endocrine system. And then to aid in movement, that would be like muscular tissue. Number 21, which of the following tissues has the highest regenerative capacity? Which of the following tissues has the highest regenerative capacity? I'll give you guys a couple seconds to answer. We're on number 21 now, if you are just joining us. The answer is epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue has a very high regenerative capacity because if you think about your epithelial tissue is kind of like your skin. So when you get like a little cut on your skin, it heals pretty quickly. So regenerative basically means its ability to replace cells or undergo mitosis and cell division to have replaced like worn out or damaged cells. So think about you have your layers of your skin, if everyone remembers. Let's get sunburned. So corneum, luteum, granulosum, spinosum, and basal. Our basal is where our cell division is going to occur. And then the new cells are going to go up. And then when they get to the corneum layer, this is where they are going to be dead and keratinized or waterproofed. Nervous tissue basically has very poor regenerative capacity. They do not regenerate very easily. So injury to nervous tissue is going to result in more permanent damage. Same thing with cardiac muscle. It has a very low regenerative capacity. So when your cardiomyocytes die, they have very, basically after you have a heart attack, heart tissue doesn't really repair effectively. Connective tissue is a little more variable depending on the specific type. Some connective tissues like bone regenerate well. Blood regenerates. Cartilage regenerates poorly. Think of it as in terms of more so its ability to replace itself. Does that make sense, everybody, before I move on? But the mnemonic here is, come, let's get sunburned. For the layers of the epidermis. Yes, okay. So come, let's get sunburned for the epidermis. Does that make sense, everybody? Let me just check in the comments. Again, so the C for cum is the corneum. Let's is the lucidum. Get for G is the granulosum. Sun is spinosum. And burned is the cell layer. This is where there's high mitotic activity, meaning there's a lot of cell division, and they get regenerated and they replace the dead cells at the top layer. So this is the most superficial layer, and this is the deepest layer. Thank you for the acronym explanation. Absolutely no problem. CeeLo Green Snakes fan. That's a good way to remember it. Perfect. Alrighty, everybody. Alrighty. Can I get a customized study material from you? Pretty much all my study material is on my website. Maybe send me a DM or an email afterwards, maybe if there was a better explanation for that. But pretty much all of my study materials is on my website. Number 22, which layer of the skin is primarily responsible for the production of new skin cells? Thanks for all the follows, everyone. I really appreciate it. I always love seeing new people around here. Thank you guys so much for joining. It is always fantastic seeing new people here. Number 22, which layer of the skin is primarily responsible for the production of new cells? New skin cells, I'm sorry. Kind of talked about it in the last question. The answer is the epidermis. So, new skin cells, basically. The epidermis is that outer layer of skin, specifically the stratum basale, which we talked about here. Number 23, which cell type in the epidermis is responsible for producing keratin? Thank you for the rose, Heaven. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you guys a lot. This be the same in the state of Georgia, I assume. Just for the HESI and TEAS exam, so. Number 23. What type of cell in the epidermis is responsible for producing keratin? It's keratinocytes. So those are basically, keratin is what provides strength and waterproofing to the skin. So these are for strength plus waterproofing. Number 24, what is the main function of melanin in the skin? What is the main function of melanin in the skin? You guys are already answering that one. Fantastic. So melanin is produced by melanocytes, which is up here. The answer is A. It protects against UV radiation. So it's a pigment produced by melanocytes, and it absorbs and dissipates UV radiation, helping protect your skin from UV damage and reducing the risk of skin cancer. Yes, this is ANP1 today, yes. Tomorrow will be ANP2. I have the schedule on my TikTok page. It's in one of the newer posts from today. Number 25. What is the primary function of sweat glands? Best class. Awesome. Best students, honestly. You guys are the best. Awesome, everybody. Awesome. Number 25. What is the primary function of sweat glands? The answer is C. Temperature regulation through evaporation. So sweat glands primarily function to produce sweat to regulate the body temperature. So when you sweat, that sweat will evaporate, cooling your body down. Number 26. Which of the following is not a function of skin? Which of the following is not a function of skin? Awesome. The answer is C. It is the secretion of hormones. That's done by the endocrine system. It occurs in glands like the pituitary, thyroid, adrenal. The skin does not produce or secrete hormones. But all of the rest of the function protects us with pathogens. It's our first layer of defense. Regulation of body temperature we just talked about, and then the synthesis of vitamin D is also a function. We produce vitamin D when we are exposed to sunlight. Number 27, when assessing burn severity, the rule of nines is used to determine when we use the rule of nines, what are we trying to estimate? Question, do sweat glands release urea or water? Sweat glands do release both water and urea, along with like other things. Water, yes, obviously about like 99% of it is water. Urea is a very, very, very small amount, just because it is a waste product of protein metabolism. Urea is a component of urine. Essentially, urea is just protein. It's just protein waste, but it's just one of the ways. But most of it would be through urine. But also you find, salts, ammonia, lactic acid, other electrolytes. Hopefully that clears that up. But number 27, how often do I have this class? I go live every day. I have the schedule on my TikTok. But if you are new here and you are not aware of what I do go live every day covering topics for anatomy and physiology and other things that you guys request, like we do pharmacology on Fridays. I did just post the TikTok topic live stream schedule on. It's one of my newer posts. If you go there and you comment, that's what I use to determine what I'm going to go over in my live streams. But number 27, the answer is B. It is the amount of fluid required for resuscitation. It is essentially used to estimate the total body surface area affected by the burns to help guide fluid resuscitation, more particularly in severe burns. The depth of the burn is more so by like first degree, second degree, extent of tissue damage, more so for first, second degree, and the amount of pain is subjective, so it's not really a factor in that. Number 28, which of the following is not a primary function of the skeletal system? Thank you for the heart. Yes, they have anatomy and physiology on, are they usable for the T's? Yes, so they do have all the topics. It's just a little more in detail, because they're more necessarily for your undergraduate course. I am working on an anatomy and physiology HESI and T's study guide. It's almost done, actually. I definitely will be posting about that when it is done. Thank you for answering my question. Awesome. Of course, very happy to. Number 28 is the regulation of blood pressure. So the skeletal system does protect vital organs. It does produce red and white blood cells that occurs in the bone marrow, and storage of minerals, mainly calcium and phosphorus. Those are very important in bones, but it does not regulate blood pressure. That is the cardiovascular system mainly. Number 29, which of the following bones are part of the axial skeleton? Awesome. We are doing 60 questions today. Number 29, which of the following bones are part of the axial skeleton? The answer is C, it is the skull and the rib cage. Skull and rib cage. The axial skeleton includes bones that form like the central axis, meaning axial. It's going to be like our skull, our ribs, our vertebral column. Then we have the appendicular skeleton, which is more so like our limbs and girdles. So we have the clavicle and scapula, part of our limbs and girdle. Femur, tibia, part of our lower limb. Humerus and radius, part of our upper limbs. So there was a question about number 27. It was disagreed. I can explain again real quick, but what was the disagreement on? But we have B here mainly because the rule of nines is mostly used to estimate the total body surface area that has been burned. That percentage is crucial for how much IV fluid the patient would need. So like above like 10% in children or above like 15 to 20% in adults. So you would use a formula to determine how many liters of fluid the patient should be given in like 24 hours. But if that's okay, you know. Number 30, in long bones, the diaphysis is best described as... It is B. It is the central shaft of the bone. It is the central shaft of the bone. So it's that long central shaft. So if we have our bone here, this is our aphysis, and this is our epiphysis. This is our diaphysis. Number 31, which bone cells are responsible for breaking down bone tissue? Epiphysis is the rounded N, absolutely. Number 31, which bone cells are responsible for breaking down bone tissue? Awesome. The answer is osteoclast. So we have osteoblast and osteoclast. You think of this as osteoblast is build, osteoclast is chew. When you chew on something, you break it down. Another word is cleave that you can use. Osteoblast builds up, it forms new bone. Osteoclast, break down bone. Osteocyte, this is just a mature bone cell. So cyte means cell. Osteo means bone. Number 32, which of the following is which of the following is true regarding compact bone? Which of the following is true regarding compact bone? Awesome. The answer is B. It makes up the outer layer of bone. So compact bone is dense. It forms the outer layer of most bones. This is what's going to give it strength. It's going to make it rigid. It's going to house our osteons, which are like our structural units for bone function. It is less dense than spongy bone. That is not true. Spongy bone has a bunch of it's more porous, and it's located more at the ends of the long bones. It contains bone marrow. Bone marrow is primarily found in spongy bone, particularly in the epiphysis. And composed of trabeculae. Trabeculae is found in spongy bone. Number 33, which hormone plays a key role in which hormone plays a key role in bone remodeling by regulating calcium levels? You'll learn about this a lot in the endocrine system as well. The answer is parathyroid hormone. So parathyroid hormone regulates calcium levels by stimulating, we talked about osteoclast. So when we increase the activity of osteoclast. Again, we are going to break down bone. So when we break down bone, we are going to increase the amount of calcium in the blood. We're also going to reabsorb more of it in the kidneys. The other one that does the opposite of this is it would decrease osteoclast activity and promotes osteoblast activity is calcitonin. So that would be the opposite. And insulin is for blood sugar levels. Cortisol is more of our stress hormone. Growth hormone is for bone growth and development, but it direct role in calcium regulation is a little less significant than parathyroid hormone. Number 34, red bone marrow is primarily responsible for That's awesome. Thanks for the follows. I appreciate it. Thank you for liking the live. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all the follows. I love the new faces around here. I love doing these live streams with you guys. 34, red bone marrow is primarily responsible for the production of red blood cells. So this is the site of hematopoiesis, the process of producing red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets. Erythropoiesis is more so for just red blood cells specifically. These are mostly for the production of red blood cells, though. Fat storage, that's going to be in the yellow bone marrow. Bone formation, osteoblast activity. Bone repair is also osteoblast activity. Number 35, which of the following bones is located in the upper limb, otherwise known as part of our appendicular skeleton? Appendicular skeleton. Awesome. The answer is B. It is the radius. The radius is one of the two bones of the forearm, the other being the ulna. Femur is in the lower limb. Tibia also in the lower limb. This is our thigh bone. It's part of our shin, lower leg. Pelvis is basically that like large little girdle that kind of connects our lower body to the spine and upper body. Number 36, fontanalis is present in the skulls of infants and serve which function? What function do they serve? Awesome. Thanks for the follows. It is B. They allow for the growth of the brain and skull. So there are soft spots. These are soft spots in the skulls of infants that allow the skull to expand as the brain grows. Basically, they enable the skull to be more flexible during childbirth. So flexible during childbirth. If you think about it, if you're giving birth and that head was not as flexible, it wouldn't be able to condense as much when you're trying to push the baby out. It would make it a lot harder to give birth. So be thankful for this structure if you do have children. Number 37. Which of the following muscles is involuntary and found in the walls of hollow organs such as the stomach and intestines? Which of the following muscle types is involuntary and found in the walls of hollow organs such as the stomach and the intestines? The answer is smooth muscle. Awesome. Again, smooth muscle is involuntary. You don't have to think about moving food throughout your digestive system. But that is in like the stomach, the intestines, blood vessels. It's meant to move substances through these organs. 38. The sliding filament theory explains muscle contraction by the interaction of what? What two filaments? We're on number 38 now. If you are just joining us, welcome in. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day. If you're new here, I did post the TikTok live schedule on TikTok today. It's one of my most recent posts. The answer is A. It is actin and myosin. So myosin heads pull actin towards the center of the sarcomere. So myosin heads pull actin towards the center of the sarcomere, or the M line. Number 39, what is the role of calcium ions in muscle contraction? What is the role of calcium ions in muscle contraction? If the questions that I've already covered up, I will be posting the replay to YouTube afterwards as well. So all the live streams that I ever do will be posted to YouTube. So if you miss anything, just to keep the flow going, so we're not repeating questions over and over again for people who keep asking and stuff like that. Just for the flow to go. I did actually also post another video on YouTube recently on how I take notes. I'd appreciate it if people went and checked that out if you need help taking notes. Just how to make it a little more active and not passive. But 39 is B. Calcium binds to troponin, which allows that actin and myosin filament. So what happens when calcium binds to troponin, it pulls. So we have something called tropomyosin. This is what is going to cover the active sites on actin, and troponin pulls tropomyosin off of the active. Oops, let me decline the co-host real quick. Active sites on actin, and when it moves it, this allows our myosin head to attach to the active site, pulling it towards the center of the sarcomere. Number 40, in muscle movements, the muscle that produces our primary movement is called what? My YouTube handle, I'll put it right here. It's linked in my bio as well, but it's just my name. It's just my name. But it's also linked in my bio too. Thanks, no problem. Thank you for joining and participating. Number 40 is an agonist. So the muscle that produces the primary movement is known as the agonist. That's also known as the prime mover. So when you flex your elbow doing a bicep curl, the biceps brachii would be the agonist. The antagonist is what's going to be opposing the action. So again, the triceps would oppose the biceps during a bicep curl. Synergist is one that would assist the agonist. 41, which of the following naming conventions describes a muscle name for its size? And hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. If you are new here, my name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys request. I do post them to YouTube afterwards. It's linked in my bio, as well as my anatomy and physiology notes. Those are also linked in my bio. I did post the TikTok live topic schedule to TikTok. It's one of my recent posts today. If you comment what you want to see, that's what I look at when I make the topic schedule now. Answer choice here is B. It is the gluteus maximus. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I appreciate it. I always love seeing new faces around here. Thanks for liking the live and sharing the live. You guys are awesome. The gluteus maximus. Maximus means the largest. So that is a muscle that was named based on its size. Minimus would be smallest. Longest would be long. Biceps brachii. Bi meaning it would refer to having two origins. Rectus abdominis would refer to the shape. Rectus means straight. Abdominis would refer to the abdomen, so straight muscle in the abdomen. Trapezius is known for its shape because it's mostly shaped like a trapezoid, so not its size. Moving on, number 42. Which of the following muscle groups is responsible for extending the lower leg at the knee? Can't see the question. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, sometimes I write and move my screen a little bit. My mistake. Oh, and TikTok thinks that I am inactive. Give me 1 second. Apologize. Perfect. 42. Which of the following muscle groups is responsible for extending the lower leg at the knee? The answer is the quads. So if we extend, if this is, let's think of our person here, if we have our knee, and we extend that, so we look like this, kind of like a karate kick, we extend it. There's going to be the quadriceps. Those are the muscles at the front of the thigh that are responsible for extending the lower leg at the knee. The hamstrings are located at the back of the thigh, and they are responsible for flexing the knee and extending the hip. So, again, this is for flexing. So these would, if you were to flex it, it would come back in, and it would kind of look like that instead. Biceps are in the upper arm. The trapezius is in the upper back. Number 43. Some of these answers are a little longer, so I'll give you guys some time to read them. 43. What is the difference between muscle tone and hypertrophy? What is the difference between muscle tone and hypertrophy? These answer choices are a little longer than the other ones, so I will give a couple more seconds before I answer it completely. So muscle tone, think about what muscle tone is and what is muscle hypertrophy. And the other one, the inverse of this would be atrophy. All right, so the answer is C. So muscle tone refers to the continuous and partial contraction of muscles. That would mean like the baseline of muscle tension or readiness for a contraction. Hypertrophy would be an increase in size of the muscle. 44. Tendons are responsible for what? Tendons are responsible for what? Passed HESI A2 with an 89%. Awesome. Congratulations. Passed my T's with a 90 on science. Going to keep studying, though, because I have to take A&P for my program. Awesome. Congratulations. Smiley face. Can get a congratulations in the chat for those who passed their HESI and T's. You should be very proud of yourself. Very proud of you guys, too. Awesome. Congrats. Seriously. Congratulations. The answer is A. Connect muscles to bones. So tendons, those are what are strong. They're flexible, connective tissue. They attach muscles to bones. Essentially, that's what enables the movement of bones when muscles contract. Number 45. The neurotransmitter junction is the site where... What happens at the neuromuscular junction? And hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. These questions are similar. Ligaments are bone to bone, yes. So right here for 44, the answer choice B. These would be ligaments. Thank you for all the likes on the live, guys. We just hit 10,000 likes. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Thanks for sharing the live as well, everybody. The answer is B. Acetylcholine is released, binds to the muscle fibers. This is where motor neurons communicate with the muscle fiber. They release acetylcholine, which is going to begin the initiation of our muscle contraction. It's going to allow the action potential to generate inside of the muscle fiber, which allows the sarcoplasmic reticulum to release calcium, to bind to troponin, to move the tropomyosin away so myosin heads can bind to actin, pulling it towards the center of the sarcomere, or the M line, which allows for muscle contraction. That is definitely the best way to learn muscle contraction if you don't know it. Practice explaining it out loud at every point. Know it forwards and backwards, things like that. That's how I studied it and how I got it down. Number 46, which of the following is a classification of joints that allow minimal to no movement? So very little or none at all. We are on number 46. Again, remember, minimal to no movement at all. The answer to this question is going to be C, are fibrous. So fibrous joints allow little to no movement. This would include, think of the sutures in your skull. Oh, thank you guys for hitting the live goal, or close to the live goal, 80%. Thank you guys. Thanks for following, everybody. Cartilaginous are limited. This is more so for limited movement. It's very limited. They are more flexible than fibrous joints. Ligamentous, this is just not one. And synovial are basically for this wide range of movements. They're the most mobile joint type. So it typically goes from most to least. It goes synovial, cartilaginous, and fibrous this way. I'm just abbreviating for those. 47 asks, which of the following is a type of synovial joint? Meaning, synovial, we talked about it, allows for the most amount of movement. So which of the following would allow for more movement than others? Awesome, the answer is A, it is a hinge joint. The most mobile one is the ball and socket joint, but of the following here, it is the hinge joint. Again, we talked about sutures. They allow for no movement. Symphysis, that's a type of cartilaginous joint, and the syndesmosis is a fibrous joint. Allows a little bit of movement. But hinge joints are a synovial joint. It's kind of like these are like your knee or your elbow. 48, the movement of a body part away from the midline is called fantastic. It is B, it is abduction. Abduction. Again, that is away from the midline. For example, if you raise your arm away from your torso. 49, which of the following is a structure found in a synovial joint? Which of the following is a structure found in the synovial joint? Think of the full picture here. Awesome. It is D. So all of the above are. So synovial fluid are all synovial fluid, hyaline cartilage, and ligaments. They are all found in synovial joints. Synovial fluid lubricates the joint. So this lubricates, hyaline cartilage covers, and then ligaments stabilize. Number 50, a sprain is defined as. A sprain is defined as. Fantastic. It is C. Is stretching or tearing of a ligament. So a sprain would involve when a ligament is stretched or torn a little bit. So it's a structure that would connect bone to other bone. The stretching or tearing of a muscle or tendon would describe a strain. Inflammation of a joint would be more so for arthritis or some other joint-related condition. Fracture of a bone would be a bone fracture, not a sprain. 51, the structure of a neuron responsible for receiving signals. So we have structures for receiving plus sending signals. But which one receives signals from other neurons? What structure is responsible for receiving signals? Think of the structure, the actual structure, not necessarily where. All right, the answer is B, dendrite. If we think of the structure here, so let's go, we have our soma. Draw a quick little neuron. These are our terminals. This is our sheath here. So these structures here are dendrites. This is where it gets received. The soma of the cell body, this is where it gets integrated. And the axon, which is this long thing here, and these are our axon terminals. This is where it gets transmitted and sent out. And the synapse is where it would be the area between two neurons where the signal is transmitted, but it's not necessarily where it is received directly. It's received directly through the dendrites. The myelin sheath is going to speed this up, which answers 53, but we'll get back to that in a second. 52, the nervous system can be divided into central nervous system and the what nervous system? We're on number 52 now. Awesome. The answer is peripheral nervous system. Peripheral. PNS and CNS. 53, what is the role of the myelin sheath? We kind of just answered that when we looked at this structure up here of the neuron. We receive it, and then we integrate it in the cell body. Receive dendrite, integrate cell body or soma. Then along the axon, we transmit it. The myelin sheath along the axon is what is going to speed up that process, which is answer choice C. We're going to increase the speed of nerve impulse transmission. 54, which of the following is a neurotransmitter that is involved in muscle contraction and autonomic functions? I'm going to talk about that with the neuromuscular junction. We're on number 54. Awesome, fantastic. It is B. It is acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is released at the neuromuscular junction. It is also involved in autonomic functions, such as our heart rate and digestive processes. Number 55. The reflex arc involves. Awesome. It is B. It is a direct pathway from sensory neurons to motor neurons without involving the brain. So it is a very simple neural pathway that allows essentially for an immediate response to a stimulus without involving the brain. So the sensory neurons detect a stimulus and the motor neurons immediately respond. More so at like the spinal cord level. Number 56, which region of the brain is responsible for coordinating voluntary muscle movements and maintaining balance? With the help of interneurons, yes. With the help of interneurons, correct. My bad, I forgot to mention that. Thank you. The answer is B, it is the cerebellum. Cerebellum, again, is for coordinating voluntary movements, balance, motor control, for like the fine-tuning of movements, precise movement. Cerebrum is for higher functions like thinking, memory. There are some voluntary motor actions. The brainstem is for like basic life functions, heart rate, breathing. Hippocampus is for memory formation. 57. The spinal cord is responsible for... Spinal cord is responsible for... Awesome. It is B. It is connecting the brain to the rest of the body for sensory and motor functions. Last couple questions here. 58. The autonomic nervous system controls. The autonomic nervous system controls. Think of autonomic as automatic. What are processes that occur that you just don't have to think about? And the answer is B. It is involuntary. So involuntary meaning we don't have to think about it. Activities like heart rate and digestion. You don't have to think about your heart beating. You don't have to think about your intestines moving food throughout your digestive tract. That is just an involuntary thing that happens. And that is part of the autonomic nervous system. 59, the sympathetic nervous system is responsible for the sympathetic. And then you also have, we'll talk about the parasympathetic as well afterwards. These will be on so the questions will be on YouTube afterwards. The replay will be. I do have other practice tests on my website. This particular one is not up there, but I do have other ones. 59, the answer is B. It is to prepare the body for a fight or flight response. If you think of rest and digest, that is the parasympathetic that is slowing down. The only way I think about it is parasympathetic has para in it. I always think of parachute. So it slows you from falling, from falling. That's how I always remember the differences. So rest and digest, you slow down. Parachute, slow down from falling. Sympathetic, fight or flight. Number 60, which of the following is a type of neuroglia cell and its primary function? So what type of neuroglia matches its primary function? Most of these questions I just make myself. I make them and I kind of have the help of people who have taken the exam. I know someone who does make the exam. So really just good review questions. I make the questions, send them off, and they tell me if they're a good review question or not. But yes, everything that I do live stream does get uploaded to YouTube afterwards. Thank you for answering. No problem. 60, the answer is A. It is a oligodendrocyte. That is myelin production in the central nervous system. Schwann cells are going to produce myelin in the PNS. So myelin, PNS. Astrocytes support neurons and maintain, this is going to be for our BBB, our blood-brain barrier. Epidermal cell, that's more so supporting sensory neurons. That's incorrect. These are going to line the ventricles of the brain, and these are going to produce our cerebral spinal fluid, BBB, myelin, and penis. Those were all the questions that I did have planned for today. I appreciate everybody joining. I will take some quick questions here before I go. Do I have any? Not yet, but I did just post on my TikTok a video of the live stream schedule. If you have anything that you would like me to cover, please go to that video and post it in there. Let me go down here. So I will be live tomorrow for AMP2. AMP2, awesome! Thank you for hitting the live goal, everybody. I appreciate all the finger hearts. Thank you, Abel. Thank you guys so much. Those questions aren't available yet, but again, if you go to my video on my TikTok, go to my TikTok vid with the schedule and comment what you want, and that is what I will use to make the live schedule for next week. I have my topics scheduled for this week. Thank you. Thank you guys as well for joining. I appreciate you guys joining. Welcome if you're new. We'll be live again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do have that linked in my TikTok post. It's like one of the most recent ones. Not the exact most recent one. It is the next one. I posted 2 videos today. Definitely go comment on there. AMP2, so AMP2 topics. So so I always include nervous system questions in both AMP1 and AMP2 reviews, mainly because some people have it in AMP1, some people have it in AMP2, so it goes on both. But we'll go through cardiovascular, respiratory, lymphatic, digestive, endocrine, urinary, reproductive, so all that tomorrow, essentially. A couple questions here and there. If you go to my TikTok and go to that post, it'll show you exactly what we're going to cover the rest of the week. I do post the replay on YouTube, and my notes for anatomy and physiology and study guides, those are all linked in my bio as well. Linked in my TikTok bio. I did post a video recently to YouTube on how I take notes. I would really appreciate it if you guys checked it out. I'm so close to getting monetized on YouTube, so I definitely would appreciate you checking some of those videos out. Before I get going, were there any other questions before I go? Any other quick question? My YouTube is my name. It's linked in my TikTok bio as well, but here is my YouTube and my website. Is Medzeg. These are in my TikTok bio. Will do. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Any other quick questions here before I get going? Anything else real quick before I go? I do appreciate you all joining. Thanks for following. Thanks for liking the live. Thanks for all the gifts today. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I love doing these with you. They're so much fun. Hope that they're helping. Do I do one-on-one study? I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I do one-on-one tutoring. Yes, it's full right now, so I would send me an email first. My email is in my TikTok bio as well. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Any other quick questions here? What's the YouTube? It's my name. Again, it's in my TikTok bio. I'll try to write it a little more clear. It's my name. It's Ollie Herkseg. This is an E-R. That you see on YouTube. Awesome. Thank you. Again, check my TikTok bio. It'll be there. The link is right there. I just follow you on YouTube. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, I bumped my knee on that. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I will be posting on there more as well, other than just the replays of the live streams too. So I will definitely keep posting more content there. Have a blessed day. Awesome. That's better. Thank you for all your help. Thank you for all your help. Thank you so much. Uh, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the rest of this week. Alrighty, everybody. Thanks for watching. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. I'll be back again tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome, awesome, everybody. Thank you, guys. Thank you.